my beautiful people. Welcome to Fun in the Kitchen and Happy New Year. I am so excited to get this 2020 New Year started with great new recipes for you. And this way you can continue to build and share memories with your friends and family members. Oh, I'm just so excited about this year and all the great things that we're going to be doing. Okay, so what we're going to start with, we're going to need 1 clove of garlic, which I minced, and I have it sitting in some olive oil, and I just chopped up a small white onion. We're going to use chicken thighs is what I have here, and I have cleaned them so they're ready to be seasoned, patted them dry and everything. And I'm going to use some seasoned Total, the perfect seasoning by Goya. I'm going to use some black pepper, some poultry seasoning, curry powder, of course, onion powder, garlic powder, and I'm also going to use some chicken bouillon. Okay, so what I'm going to start with, I'm going to season my chicken first. Okay, and I just want to get those seasonings blended in there nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my garlic powder. Just getting all these seasonings in here nicely. And again, you can never put too much garlic powder or onion powder. That just enhances the flavors of the onion and the garlic that you're going to put into your pan. Okay, we're going to put some onion powder on here now. There we go. Get that onion powder on in there. Oh, I had such a wonderful, wonderful holiday. I hope you did as well. And a wonderful new year. It was just beautiful. I hope you did. You know, coming into a new year, you want to start things off anew, start it right, and do some different things. So now I'm going to add this poultry seasoning. Okay, so as you can see, I have my chicken and the onions and the garlic all in the pot cooking up. And when I tell you this, I mean, this smells really good. You can smell all the flavors, the onions, the garlic, the curry, all of the seasonings I put on here. Oh, it smells so good. And I'm just kind of letting this chicken sear for a little bit because I want the natural juices from my chicken to come out. And that's all I'm doing. I want that chicken to brown up, and I want those natural juices to come out. So all I'm doing is just letting it sear for a little while. So I'm going to let this continue, and I'll be back with you once it's gotten all the juices out. Okay, and we are back, and as you can see, our chicken has browned up. Our onions and garlic have gotten infused into the flavor of the chicken, which is great. And it's just going to continue to cook and add in more and more flavor as it cooks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a cup of water, and I'm going to add this cup of water into our chicken here. We don't want a whole lot of water, just like that, because I still want to create my nice gravy from the broth that we'll get from the chicken. I'm also going to add in the crushed bouillon chicken flavor, because that's going to help with that chicken broth that we want in here and create that nice gravy that we're trying to create here. I may add in just a little bit more water, probably a half a cup more water. That's what I'm going to do right now. So, okay, so now I'm going to add in this half of cup of water in there. So 1.5 cups of water is what we've added in here today. And we're going to let that cook. And I'm telling you, this smells amazing. And you can see it's already started to create a nice gravy, you know. And we're going to let this cook. Now, sometimes I do put potatoes in, but I didn't put potatoes in today. I'm going to go ahead and cook some rice to go with this, and a nice vegetable as well to go with this. So I'm just going to let this cook for a little bit, and if I see that it needs more water, I'll put it in there. But for right now, we're just going to let this cook down. And that's basically all you're doing with curry chicken. You start your sear, get those flavors infused in there, get that chicken broth coming out of that juice, out of that meat, and you add your water and you just let it cook. So we're going to cover this and let this cook, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's just about done and how I'm going to thicken up this gravy that's in there. Okay, so here is what our curry chicken is looking like. It has created a nice thick, almost a nice thick gravy there. But what I'm going to do is I am going to thicken it up just a little bit and let this chicken continue cooking. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I'll probably add a little bit more water because as you can see, the water has kind of evaporated out a little bit, and that's okay. So I'm going to take some of this right here, put this into another pot, some of this nice juice that was created from the cooking, and I'm going to put this in the pot, and I am going to create my gravy from the broth of this nice juice that we got, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to put this back on the other eye and let that continue to cook for a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. And then I am going to start this gravy here. And I'm also going to pour a little bit of water into that chicken. I'm going to pour about another half a cup into this chicken. You see that, guys? That did nice. I might pour another. Let me pour just a little bit more. Just like that. There you go. There we go. Now we have some more water into our pot. I'm going to cover this and I'm going to continue to let this cook. Okay, and then I'm going to get my stuff that I need for my gravy. So give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to also pour a little bit of cool water into my broth there that I have. I'm going to turn my eye on and I'm going to stir this around a little bit. I'm going to pour a little bit more water in there. So there we go. I have a little bit more water. And it's not a full cup. I probably poured about 3/4 cup of water into our pan, into our pot here. And what I'm going to do is put this cornstarch in here, and that is going to thicken up our gravy. And I'm just pouring, I'm guesstimating, so I'm sure I've done a teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon or so of cornstarch in here. And as you can see in my pot, the cornstarch lightened up the color of our gravy, but it's going to thicken it up. And we're just going to stir because we want to make sure that we don't have any lumps, because what we're going to do, we're going to add this right back in there. So I'm going to pour, I'm going to get another teaspoon of cornstarch. Let's see, let's get this teaspoon of cornstarch in here. There we go. Maybe I'll do two teaspoons. I don't really have a whole bunch left. There we go. That's a half a teaspoon. So another teaspoon and a half of cornstarch. There we go. I know I've just made a little bit of a mess. Look at me. I'm just splashing stuff all over. Let me take my napkin there and wipe that up. There we go. And we're gonna let this thicken up some. And this is how you make your gravy. You can also use flour if you like. But since I had some cornstarch, I said I'm gonna go ahead and use my cornstarch. And I'm gonna let this thicken up. Yep. And we just stir it until it starts to smooth out and thicken up. So we want to stir it until it starts to boil. And that's how we know that our gravy is ready. And then we're going to pour this. You see that? I want to make sure that all of that stuff is dissolved. We want all smoothness. We don't want any lumps in our gravy. We want everything to be smooth. So we're going to keep, I just keep splashing. So we're going to keep stirring this up until it's nice and smooth. That's what we want to do. And see, it's starting to thicken up. Look at that, guys. It's starting to thicken up. And that's what we want. We want a nice, thick gravy, but we want it to be smooth. And remember, I took that broth, so I can feel that it's thick. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how nice and thick that is. You see that? Look at that nice gravy. There we go. And so I can feel and I can see, like I just showed you, that it has thickened up nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and add my gravy into my curry chicken, just like that. And it's going to continue to cook with that nice gravy in there that we added. And this will be our gravy that we put over the rice. And I've already cooked our rice. And if you see here, over in this next pot over here, this is where my rice is. So my rice is ready and that is done. And so we're just gonna let this cook some more. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let this curry chicken and that gravy cook up some more. And I'm gonna try to get the rest of this gravy out of here. And that's it. And I'll come back to you once everything is done. Okay, and here is my curry chicken. I have rice, the gravy, the chicken, and some green beans that were made. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know when I have another great recipe coming for you. Bye.